Welcome back to the GSMC Hockey Podcast, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. We're back with our fourth segment of the night, talking about the top 10 wingers in the NHL. If you guys would like to support the GSMC Sports Network in more ways than you already do, just by tuning in, use the tips and donations link at gsmcpodcast.net. It does go a long way to support the creators here out at the GSMC Sports Network. So with that being said, we're going to get into our fourth segment, talking about the top 10 wingers in the NHL. I said it after the third segment, but if you guys just watch the clips here, I'll say it again. This is a subjective list. Do not think that I believe that I am 100% correct in this. This is just my opinion. Top 10 wingers in the NHL from what I see. This, there are statistics that go and back this up a little bit, but not fully. So if your favorite guy is left off the list or is too low, I apologize. And if there's a guy a little bit too high, well, I apologize for that too. But this is my list here. Top 10 wingers in the NHL. Number 10, I have Filip Forsberg, and I was really wrestling with this thought in my head. Where would I put Filip Forsberg? Because this guy, we haven't seen a fantastic team around him throughout his entire career, really, in Nashville. But you see the talent. This guy has a fantastic shot, one of the best snipers in the NHL, and one of the best all-around players. So I put him right at 10. I think that this guy is fantastic. I do have him above some guys, some notable omissions to the list that you guys will find out as we get through this. But I think number 10 really works for Filip Forsberg. I have him over guys like Zach Hyman was a guy I was thinking about a lot. I think that was really the only other one. Of course, coming off of 50 goals, maybe a Sam Reinhart I was thinking about a good amount too. But I elected to go with Filip Forsberg here. I think that he fits this list really well. I think he's a fantastic, scoring forward. Scoring winger. Number 9 is William Nylander, another guy that you just see the talent. Yes, Toronto doesn't do too well in the postseason. We all know this, but you see the talent in this guy, and you'll see his teammate later here, as you guys can probably assume. But William Nylander in Toronto has been, phenomenal. This guy, like I said, a lot of talent from this Swede here. Fits right in with that core, right on that second line there. Having to give up. He's a first liner anywhere else in the NHL, but having to give that up because you want to split up your top four, right? You don't want to have that stacked up first line and then John Tavares on that second line with, Matthew Nyes and whoever else, Matthew Nyes and Robertson. But William Nylander has a lot of talent, and he might be a second line winger, but I think he is one of the best wingers in the NHL. Next up, Clayton Keller. Another guy where the team success isn't there, and that's why you might have some questions about it. But Clayton Keller, man, I read an article the other day that said, does Clayton Keller have the potential to be the greatest Arizona Coyote of all time? Or what is he the greatest Arizona Coyote of all time? Because of course Arizona is no longer a franchise, right? They reset completely new in Utah. I think that you can really make an argument because when we're looking at just Arizona Coyotes, right? We're not counting the old Winnipeg Jets, because if we do, it's just Teemu Selanne, right? It pretty easy. Maybe Dale Hawerchuk, but I would say Teemu Selanne pretty easily is the greatest if we're talking about the Winnipeg Jets, including here. But if we're just talking about Arizona Coyotes, like, who else is up there? Shane Doan? I think Clayton Keller definitely has an argument. Maybe Oliver Ekman-Larsson has an argument. That's not too out of the realm of possibility, but yeah, Clayton Keller is such a fantastic, like, you just see his skill and you feel bad that, his early days were kind of wasted a little bit in Arizona, but now they're putting a team around him in Utah. Now it looks a little bit better. We'll see how he does play in Utah. But he is a fantastic player, deserving of the number 8 slot. Number 7 here, Mitch Marner, William Nylander's teammate. Mitch Marner, number 7. This guy helps out Austin Matthews in more ways than is even imaginable. Austin Matthews is a fantastic scorer, but Mitch Marner gives him so much opportunity. He's fast. He plays a good two-way game when he needs to. Is amazing on the power play. Was killing penalties in the playoffs. This guy can kind of do it all. He's number 7 on my list. I think he is I think he's just, his team and overall success puts him above Clay and Keller on a list like this, but you can kind of flip-flop those guys. I think that, those are two of the best right wingers in the entire NHL, and we'll talk about the other top right winger when we get into later here, but man, that position is stacked in the NHL. But yeah, Mitch Marner, number 7. Number 6 is going to be Matthew Tkachuk, another right winger here. Matthew Tkachuk was an interesting one because when we're looking at pure skill, I would say that he's probably towards the bottom of this list. But he's such a fantastic two-way player. The press that he implements in the Florida system is huge. Yeah, he might not be that skilled, but man, Matty Tkachuk is just that, like Tom Wilson doesn't deserve to be on this list, but Matthew Tkachuk has a little bit more offensive capability than Tom Wilson does. But both two-way games are very similar. Matthew Tkachuk is a Selke candidate if it weren't for his teammate Alexander Barkov taking all that hype. So sorry, taking all that hype on that team. So I really like Matthew Tkachuk. Of course, now a Stanley Cup champion Matthew Tkachuk plays a lot like his dad Keith. That's I think that is very very evident. So Matthew Tkachuk comes in at number 6. Number 5 is Kirill Kaprizov. This Russian had, late bloomer, coming kind of out of nowhere, was a part of that 2015 class, didn't get his start for a little while, but since he has, man, Kirill Kaprizov has been so impressive. I should have had his Hockey DB page pulled up. I'm actually going to pull up his stats because it's kind of been just otherworldly since I believe 2021 was when he came into the league. Yeah, 2021. 51 points in 55 games played, 108 points in 81 games played, 75 points in 67 games played, and 96 points in 75 games played. In 4 years, Kirill Kaprizov has been unbelievable. He's going into his age 27 season, and he still has an opportunity to grow even more. This guy has put up 47, 40, and 46 goals in the last 3 seasons. It's just completely ridiculous. Won the Calder, of course, his rookie year. Was 15th in Hart when he won the Calder. Was 7th in Hart 3 years ago. Was 17th 2 years ago. This guy's just absolutely ridiculous and deserving of so much praise. Helps out the Wild so much. He's number 5. And for this name to be number 5, it shows you how stacked wingers are in the NHL. Number 4 is going to be Mikko Rantanen. We talked about him in the first segment. This guy helps this team win so much. Mikko Rantanen, of course, right winger for the Colorado Avalanche, has, grown so much since he's entered the NHL, but he's just otherworldly when it comes to the Colorado Avalanche. He is such a fantastic forward. Of course, he's gonna help to finish in the Four Nations face-off next season. I'm excited to see him do that, represent his country. But when it comes to the Colorado Avalanche, helped them in 2022 win that Stanley Cup, was a huge piece, part of one of the best lines in hockey in recent memory with Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen. Fantastic forward. I don't have his numbers up right next to me, but this guy just puts up points for fun in the NHL. He's number 4. Number 3 is going to be David Pastrnak. I love this picture, by the way. He looks sick. David Pastrnak, since they entered the league, just has been otherworldly. This guy always 90 to 100 point contender, one of the best shots in the NHL. It helps out the Boston's forward group in more ways than you could even imagine. He is just a fantastic player. Helps this team win so often. I forgot to, when I did the worst jerseys of all time, I forgot to put this Boston jersey on it. It's called the Cocaine Bear jersey. It's awful. Anyways, I got sidetracked. David Pastrnak deserving of the praise. Number 3. Anyways, number 2 is gonna be Artemi Panarin. Won the Calder in 2015 over Connor McDavid. Although Connor McDavid I don't even think was eligible. But anyways, in 2015 won the Calder over Connor McDavid. Ever since then has just been big player in the league. Has helped the New York Rangers win the President's Trophy. Helped the New York Rangers win the President's Trophy last year. That's how you speak English. Wow. I was struggling there. Anyways, Artemi Panarin, fantastic forward. Has one of the best shots, one of the best playmaking wingers that we've seen in recent memory. This guy is absolutely deserving of the praise. And number 1 is Nikita Kucherov. This guy just put up 100 assists in a season. He just had the leading points in the NHL last season. Had over 40 goals with 100 assists. Video game numbers. Like, Connor McDavid and Nathan MacKinnon were putting up silly numbers this season. This guy had more points than both of them. Ridiculous. This guy is fantastic. Nikita Kucherov, number 1, deserving of 1. So that is my list of top wingers in the NHL. This guy's fantastic. Anyways, we'll get into, in our 5th and final segment, the Columbus Blue Jackets season preview. Of course, I have a lot to talk about with the Columbus Blue Jackets, since this team is very close to my heart, very near and dear to me. But we'll be talking about them when I come back from my 4th break.